Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave? Really, let's get into that. Because it's really giving me, I'ma forget. So let me tell my child. But then when my child forget, I'm going to whoop him because he forgot to... Police. Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave? Really, let's get into that.
Mom, quick question. Why didn't you take the chicken out of the freezer before you left? Like all those times where you asked me to take the chicken out the freezer, why wouldn't you just do it before you leave?
What?
Like, did you not know you wanted chicken for dinner?
A trick? Like, where did this come from?
I just want to know. Like, it just makes sense. If you knew that the chicken needs to be de-thawed, then...
I forgot?
Right, but when I forget, I get a whooping. I just think...
Where did this come
Black people, we need to have dialogue. Okay.
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave?
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
How come you never took the chicken out of the freezer if you knew that's what you wanted for dinner?
Are you serious?
Yeah, like you always got mad at me because I would forget, but how come you didn't do it before you left?
Really want to know?
If you know that's what you wanted for dinner. Like,
that's why. Chanclazo, that's...
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave? Really, let's get into that.
I'm probably gonna get my ass whooped for this. A question for you. I want to know why you didn't take the meat out the freezer when I was a little girl. Like, if you knew we were going to eat chicken, because we weren't going to eat anything else. If you knew we were eating chicken for dinner, why didn't you take the chicken out of the freezer before you left? Why did you call me while you were gone to take the meat out the freezer and then go get mad when I forget to take it out, knowing full well that you should have taken it out before you left the house?
Sister, what are you talking about?
All them times when I was little and I didn't take the meat out the freezer before you got home and I got in trouble.
I don't remember.
Now y'all never remember anything. Y'all never remember anything.
I don't. On Sunday with this TikTok, yes.
It's not TikTok BS. It's true stuff. Why'd you do it?
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave? Really, let's get into that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How come growing up, when you left to go to work, how come you ain't take the chicken out the freezer before you left, but you asked her to take it out the freezer before you left? Why you just didn't take it out of the freezer?
It just depends on how early I left.
But the chicken still would have been defrosted, and we could have put it in the refrigerator.
It would have thawed out as quick.
Yes, it would have.
Because it would have been cold. It's going to take forever to...
You could have taught us to thaw it out. You could have left it out for it to thaw out. And you could have told us, you could have called us on the phone and said, put the chicken in the refrigerator once it thaw out. Instead of telling us to take it out the freezer. And we forget and you cuss us out for it.
I had time to call you and say...
Now you got a new option.
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave?
Ma, you sleep? Well, I need to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why you didn't take that chicken out the freezer when we was growing up?
I'll kill you.
I just asking the question.
It was your job.
But TikTok said if you would have just took out the chicken before you went to work, then I wouldn't have never got a whooping.
I'll whoop you right now.
Bye, Ma.
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before we leave? Really, let's get into that.
I have a question. Remember when you used to work, no? And then you used to tell me, take the chicken out the freezer. Why didn't you just take it out before you left? I'm serious. Did you not know you wanted chicken for dinner? is there a reason that you asked me to?
Maar jy vra my nou baie kak.
But I'm serious, and then when I forget to take it out the freezer, then you're upset. Didn't you forget in the first place? That's why you asked me?
So what? I'm the mommy. I'm allowed to. Ek kan my eie kop se kak aanvang. Julle besigheid hier.
Why didn't our parents just take the chicken out the freezer before leaving? Like,
Is this a real question? Because my mama bought the chicken because she gonna cook the chicken. Because I'm gonna eat the chicken. Because she doing everything else. She paying the bills. She keeping the house clean. The least I could do is while I'm waiting on my bus and she's rushing to go to work is take the chicken out for it to unthaw. This couldn't be for real.
Our parents really used to whoop us and then say, stop crying, I ain't even get you good. Like,
This is why gentle parenting is seen as a phenomenon rather than this is how we should have been parenting all along. Because validating your children's emotions, validating the fact that they don't know how to regulate it yet, because their brain isn't developed enough to understand how to regulate those emotions, and it's our job as a parent not to react to their emotions, but rather guide them through it. I get triggered in my complex PTSD when my children react or when I feel like there's a level of perfectionism that's not being met. But just because I'm triggered with that does not give me an excuse to react to my children's emotions. See, at almost 30 years old, I'm learning how to regulate my emotions more effectively. I'm learning how to process through these episodes. And so instead of passing on this generational trauma of child abuse, I either had to physically exit the room or I had to stop and take a breath because children don't deserve it.
what's the wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you? One time,
How about stop crying or I'm going to give you something to cry about? You done already whooped my ass. You telling me there's something else I should be crying about? Or what about don't block? What you blocking for? Self-defense? Maybe I'm trying to reduce this concussion. Maybe my instincts to survive is kicking in. My favorite gotta be, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
what's the wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you?
Mama would tell me, like, to stand still and not move. Like, while you hitting me, I gotta just be still and not move. Or, like, if I, like, flinched and, like, grabbed the belt, like, she would get mad. And then, like, it had to start all over. I'm sorry, my natural instinct is to protect myself. I don't know how you just stand there and just, like I'm a statue and not move. But let you not cry. Then it's like, oh, am I not hitting you hard enough? Oh, you tough now, huh? You not gonna cry. No, I'm trying to not move. I'm using all my strength and energy to not move because I want this shit to be over with. Dude, our parents was nuts.
Crying about? What's the wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you? One time,
Bruh. My mom was pissed off about something, and to this day, I still don't know what it is. But I remember she grabbed me by my pants, yanked me into the doorway of her bedroom, and as she's holding me by my capri pants, she says, "Get out of my room!" I'm like, how do I do that? At this moment, we all know the rule. You can't look down because that's seen as you're not trying to address them. Can't look them in the eyes because that's seen as grown. And you can't look up because then you have an attitude. So I am panicking because I don't know where to look. Her response to me was, "What's it think say you're grown?" I put my hand up to say no. Her response, "Oh, so you're grown." She knocked me clean out. I woke up the next day with my hair wrapped in my pajamas. And her words to me before going to work, "Now don't try that again." What?
what's the wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you? One time, my dad...
Now, when I say this, there's absolutely no cap in me saying this, bro. One time, my mom was mid-whooping. I'm talking about it's already been 5-10 minutes. Straight, straight leather to cheeks, you feel me? The belt was going crazy. We ain't had the hangers today. The belt was going cool on my cheeks, you feel me? Pause. But we're mid-whooping. And my mom dead pulls me up off her lap, looks me dead in the eyes, and says, "Boy, stop crying before I really whoop your ass." What do you mean? What do you mean by this? You are already in my cheeks right now. What do you mean before you whoop my ass?
What's the wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you? One time, my dad beat me for...
my mama used to whoop me, and then after she would hug me and tell me that she did it because she loved me, and she would make me hug her afterwards. And my mom would beat me and my brother, like she would like, so I would probably go first most of the time, or if I wasn't first, then I would go hide while my brother was getting a whooping. But my mom would wait and wash us, let me and my brother take a shower, and then spank us while we was wet. One time my mama took a metal spatula and beat me with a metal spatula. I had lines engraved in my cheeks from where the spatula had grooves in it and was gripping.
Wildest thing your parents ever told you when they was whooping you?
I'm doing this because I love you.
This is our 3-week-old kitten. You can see that this kitten has incisors.
I'm not feeling the love, Mama. I'm feeling the pain.
What's the craziest thing your parents told you while getting a whooping? I remember one time my mama gave me a whooping, right? I was in middle school, and, we had that age-old curfew of being home before the streetlights come on. So I was hanging out with some friends of mine. We hanging, but we was in one of my homeboys' basement. Man, I done messed around and fell asleep, y'all. When I woke up, it was pitch black outside. Man, I hopped up, I ran out the house, I'm crying already, running to the house. And the whole time I'm on my way, I'm thinking of a lie to tell. Like, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to tell her that I just missed out on the street lights and all this other stuff? Just coming up with stupid stuff. It was like February when this happened. So I came up with a lie that I was running and I slipped on some ice on the way home and passed out until the street lights came on. So when I came in the house, she said, you got 100 licks coming. 100? Then proceeded to tell me that I get to choose when I get a whoop. Man, what? I'm not. So again, I'm crying all over again. And then she was like, I tell you what, you can get 50 now and then 50 later. Or you can just get them all at once. Makes me no difference. So what kind of decision is this? Feelings was beyond hurt. So took it like a G. And I just went ahead and asked for the 100 all at once. Because in my mind, I'm thinking she ain't going to be strong enough to get through it all. Dog, I was wrong. My mom had the strength of 10 men that day. She beat the hell out of me.
Abusing us ain't worth crying about. What's the wildest thing your parents ever told you?
Kid you not, the stupidest shit I've ever heard was, this is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me. Bitch, are you smoking crack? Well, yes, you were. But that's besides the point. How the fuck you hitting me with anything that you get your hands on, a belt, a broom, a heel, extension cord, how the fuck, if you're not getting hit with that, is it gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me? Because you're not seeing somebody else in the street or the family do it, you're doing it. So if it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me, why the fuck are you doing it? And she conquered that one because she had our stepfather starting hitting us then.